Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the mop here on a Monday morning in February. It is a dandy of a day. It's going to be near 40 today. So, welcome to the mop. Lots going on. So, there's a lot to talk about over the weekend. I first want to say, Lindsey Vonn, you are a warrior. People are saying, oh, she took a spot from somebody that could have medaled. She shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. She was in third place after a practice run. She happened to have an accident, which happens in downhill. Okay? Yeah, it was a blown ACL, and nobody ever does with ACL. I don't care. She's a warrior. It was her own time. She's the best, one of the best choices the USA had for downhill. And Breezy won, so that's good. It's not like she took somebody's spot. A healthy Lindsey Vonn, or, like I said, the day before she was in third. So don't give me the BS. Lindsey Vonn deserved, and if you are the type of person that says, oh, she took a spot from some blah, 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 I don't want to hear about it. Lindsey Vonn, if I had my option of with a knee support or whatever, and if the trainers and everybody said she's a go, she's going to go. That's just how it's going to work. So, we need more athletes with her mentality than what we see sometimes out of athletes that don't play with a sprained pinky or something like that. So, great job, Lindsey. Unfortunately, you crashed. That is an unfortunate thing. And yes, she broke her leg in the mean leg too. So, don't start with me on Lindsey Vonn. Next, Super Bowl. Was I happy with the halftime show? I wasn't happy with it. I didn't think it rocked the house, but I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. There's plenty of Bad Bunny fans. So it was what it was. The actual Super Bowl was, in my mind, terrible. So it really didn't do anything for me anyway. I wasn't watching it except on and off here and there, but then here's where I'm coming from with it. If you are bad-mouthing the protesters downtown in Richland County, or anywhere, the single people down by Mazo or wherever that may be out just holding their sign, if you are bad-mouthing them and calling them names and doing all that, but yet you switched over at halftime to Turning Point to watch that show, you're a protester. You protested against the NFL's halftime show. You're a protester. So you're no different than what they were holding their signs, except then you posted it that you were going to watch the Turning Point halftime show. So you're a protester. And congratulations for being able to do that. We live in a country where you can do that. I didn't watch it. I have no ambitions to watch it. So it was all America and all that. Nah, it was just a ploy. So I've seen enough stuff this weekend to just kind of curl up in a ball and say, boy, some people just don't. And to call Bad Bunny all the names and everything else, and you do realize he's from Puerto Rico. And you were in geography in high school to learn Puerto Rico is a U.S., so he is a U.S. citizen? Do you understand that? I don't know if some people understand that. And then, all capitals from the lovely President Trump about our U.S. skier that is the biggest loser and not supporting USA. Him voicing his opinion and other athletes of voicing their opinions does not make them losers. It makes them people that can state their business and their feelings about how this country is. And then I see people posting, well, I've traveled everywhere. Nobody's laughing at us. then you haven't traveled very far, because when we went to Switzerland, that whole side of the country is laughing at the United States. So for him to call somebody that is skiing for the U.S. a loser, and by the way, he's got 2 medals from previous, so I doubt he's a loser. From somebody that I'm pretty sure has never participated in any sport except golf where he cheats. And it's been proven he cheats. So, I think that makes you a loser when you cheat at your sport. Yep, I said that. If you're cheating at a sport, that makes you a loser. So, President Trump, when you're cheating at your golf or you have assistance to put the ball in the hole, whatever it may be, and then you come out with saying, I am the biggest blah, blah, blah. So don't call Olympic skiers losers. And again, the halftime show was not my cup of tea, but I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I'm trying to think of who would I thought Green Day rocked the house, but that's where I was in college. Green Day was just coming out at that point. And they were a great band, and they still are. So I thought they did a great job. So I know Brandy Carla, she did an absolute amazing job. Thought the Star Spangled was good. Coco Jones did okay. I'm not fans of that style. So, but I'm not a fan of, I don't know Big Bunny to say yes or no. I thought they all looked fun. And then to have a real wedding. That was a real wedding, by the way. That's kind of cool that their vows stuck and they actually got married at the halftime. And I think that's pretty cool. But I'm not a big Bad Bunny fan. I don't even know really. I couldn't name anything else about it. But I didn't like some of the other halftime shows we've seen either. I think the last really halftime show that I really, really enjoyed was Prince's. So I don't know what to say other than that. It's just that Bad Bunny wouldn't have been my choice, but they didn't ask me. And then to think about who I would choose for halftime, I mean, it would have to be, like, for really to get the crowd and stuff, AC/DC, Van Halen, things like that, but none of them bands are really together. And they're all older. And like my parents, they would prefer to see the 50s and 60s. So we're talking about generation. It was the 60th Super Bowl. So we're talking about people that they weren't impressed by Bad Bunny either, but I didn't expect my dad to be impressed by Bad Bunny. My dad laughed at the name first, so it is what it is. But all I'm getting at is if you're pissed off about people protesting down by the courthouse, because, they've got to have jobs or whatever it may be. But yet you're posting all over that you're switching over to watch Kid Rock's halftime show. You are protesting. You're a protester. It's that simple. And if you don't like, but it is what it is. For me to get all worked up that I don't speak Spanish. I had plenty of opportunities. They offered it in high school. Didn't learn it. But I still don't hold any grudges against anybody. And if just how it is. So, it's been a long time to hear people bitch and complain. But I guess in that reality, my mom always said it too. If they don't have things to bitch and complain about, sometimes their life they don't feel is being fulfilled because they're just not happy people. So it's a big discussion was, did you like the No, not really. But I didn't like last year's. I didn't like that, like I said, the really last halftime show that stood out to me was when Prince did his halftime show. And I thought that show was awesome. And I think maybe Snoop Dogg and them did a halftime show once. That was really good. I think that's about it. But Green Day, rocked the house. I could have listened to them for another hour. Thought they were good. So, with that said, have a great day. Sun's coming up. It's going to be near 40. Hopefully the weather and the sun starts bringing more positive energy to people, because I think they're starting to get the winter blues. So, I thought the game itself was bleh. And it was a defensive battle. There's no doubt about that. There were some great defensive plays made. But it definitely didn't live up to the hype of what a Super Bowl is sometimes, maybe. I don't know. But congratulations to Seattle. So they definitely earned it over the other opportunities, and May will have plenty of chances, I'm sure. He's very young, and he will mature and age from this and become quite better, I'm sure, too. So with that said, I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks for tuning into the Mop, and I'll have more tomorrow morning, I'm sure, but we'll go from there. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, take time to bless somebody today.